Hi, Zizaran here, and we just finished reacting the hardest, the best reactions to 3.20, the Forbidden Sanctum, and the patch notes are out. The new league comes out 9th of December, and we are now going to read the patch notes. Alerts are off, so it should be a decent YouTube experience as well. But it's going to be pretty raw and unedited. I just have a lazy editor, that's all. Sorry, Scry, don't sue me. But yeah, we're gonna read the patch notes and go through them, and I'll address important things as we go. So, new 3-month challenge leagues. Forbidden Sanctum is a roguelike that takes place within Path of Exile. And what was really cool is my third thing was like, ooh, maybe give it some sort of roguelike mechanic. So that was exciting. And yeah, a set of 40 new challenges, new contents, and features. I mean, sometimes there's stuff here, so I'm actually going to read it this time. Added a new optional mode, Ruthless. I tried Ruthless. I've submitted some video on thoughts about it. It's very not for everyone. And for those wondering, no, I will not be league starting Ruthless. I think Ruthless is really, really perfect as a end of the league. You're bored with a normal game league, and I think it does that excellently. It's a very fun, like, novelty thing. But for me, it's definitely not going to be my main content for now. But yeah, added a new strength or skill, intelligence skill. Frozen Legion, the spell strength and intelligence skill gem. Huh? The spell consumes. Wait, strength and intelligence. I wonder if it'll have multicolors. Do you think it'll be red and a blue gem? Like, do you think it can go in either? Have we ever seen that before? Is Cold to Fire a multi gem? Like, does Cold to Fire have multiple requirements? Purple gem? I don't think it will have that, but that'd be cool. I think it would be cool if Cold to Fire could go in multiple sockets too. It is red. Okay, cool. This spell consumes multiple cooldowns, uses to summon icy statues in a ring. And to be fair, I feel like PoE is a little bit like that. Every time something says, like, is this new? Do we have this in the game already? There's just so much content. Each statue uses your frozen sweep attack before vanishing. It requires an axe, mace, scepter, or staff. This skill cannot be triggered or supported by spell echo or unleash or by totems, traps, or mines. Frozen sweep is used by your statues to deal damage in an area around you. That looked very cool. That looked very cool. Volcanic fissure. Slam the ground, creating a winding fissure. While traveling outwards, when it reaches the target, it erupts, releasing a burst of molten projectiles. Molten Strike is literally crying. New int gem, Cursed Ground. Support skills create Cursed Ground. Enemies on the Cursed Ground from a supported skill are cursed with that hex. I should start calling it Cursed. Hex Bloom. Hexes from supported skills are transferred to all enemies within a certain distance when a hexed enemy dies. Introduces 8 new Vaal skill gems. Vaal Cleave, Vaal Flicker Strike, Vaal Blade Flurry. Yo, do we finally have Blade Blade? Do we finally have Blade Blade? Vaal Venom Gyre, Vaal Molten Strike, Vaal Caustic Arrow, Vaal Volcanic Fissure, and Vaal Smite. Wow. Oh, I'm excited for Vaal Blade Flurry. Honestly, Blade Flurry, when it was first introduced, was one of the most enjoyable skills. Introduced the Fracturing Orb, which can be used to fracture a random modifier on a rare item with at least 4 modifiers locking it in place. Can't be used on influenced, incised, or fractured items. Very excited for this. Definitely specking into Harbinger. That's so exciting. I'm a little scared of fractures too, because one problem I have with fractures being too available is I feel like they're almost mandatory for crafting then. It's the only risk. Fracturing shards. 15 new unique items, including one designed by a supporter. Wow. Isn't there several designed by a supporter? Because some of them are like uber boss uniques. Isn't there like 5 supported ones? I guess it's different. They don't think of those as supporters, I guess. Surprised that people still have unique supporter things. Added also this might be Melee League. We'll see on the changes. Added 10 new Divination cards, 5 of which were designed by our supporters, with 5 designed by winners of the boss kill events. I sort of designed one. I don't know if I count in that. Maybe. I sort of let somebody else design it. Added 2 new Atlas memories themed around Domination and Bestiary, which include 9 new Beastcrafting recipes. Calandra's Touch Unique Ring was added to the core drop pool. Yo! Chase item. Chase item. That's very cool. Very, very cool. I love that. Grand and exceptional Eldritch Echoes have received new art so that they're more distinguishable and continue to incrementally improve the sound, art, and effect on environment. Honestly, most underrated thing in the patch notes. They really do a great job of that. If you've ever seen pictures from 2013, the game has changed massively. Man, these are some long notes as well. We're going to be here for a while. Isn't the ring weak without the reflect pools? No, it's like if you have a perfect, really, really good ring, you have 2 of it. It's really good. It is really, really good. I quite like it anyway. Maven Witness map bosses now a chance to drop an awakened gem, inclusive of the awakened gems that are typically exclusive to Maven herself. They don't mean exceptional, right? Surely they don't mean exceptional. That doesn't count the Uber ones, right? Because they can't drop from normal Maven. What awakened gems are normally exclusive to Maven herself? I actually didn't know that. Or I didn't think about that, I guess. Oh, multi-strike and GMP? That makes sense. That makes sense. I've only had that from Cyrus, and I've never had it from Maven, because I didn't do that much after it was changed. But that makes sense. Because obviously they're not going to do Enlighten. Awesome, thanks. This is the great thing about having so many software players in your chat, because like I didn't play that much last thing. Only like 200 or 300 hours. It was like I didn't do that much of that. The following maps have been added back to the Atlas. Alright. I'm gonna exude my excitement or depression from while reading out the names. Academy. Bazaar. Burial Chambers. Cage. Channel. City Square. Courthouse. Courtyard. Coves. Estuary. Yo, this just gets better. Forbidden Woods. Graveyard. Haunted Mansions. Iceberg. Infested Valley. Ivory Temple. Lookout. Mineral Pools. Primordial Blocks. Sepulture. Shipyard. Spider Lair. Sunken City. Toxic Sewer and Volcano. Yo! Oh, that's honestly, that alone has made me more excited for this thing. Oh my god. Alright, let's see if they remove any good maps. Because they added so many good maps. Surely they're going to remove some good ones. Removed Arena? Removed Arid Lake. Removed Armory? Removed Barrows? Removed Belfry? And Rebel Valley's gone! Yo, get out! Cells? Unironically, Cells is my favorite dogshit map. Chateau, Dig, Excavation, Fungal Hollow, Jungle Valley, Lava Chamber, Marshes, Mud Geyser, Park Pen, Race Course, Rampart, Stagnation's gone. Yo, Summit's gone. That's so rippy. Vault, Wastepool, Waterways, and Wharf. Oh, I like Wharf though. Wharf's gonna be annoying with div cards, no? Well, I guess that's changed a little bit. Maybe Rich, yeah. Map tiers and locations have been shuffled through. The pin locations have not changed. Most maps are now found initially at a different tier. Some of the map bosses you're required to defeat to upgrade your Pantheon have changed. Crafting recipes are now in other areas. Some div cards have found new homes. P2, Gift of Asenath. Is that the gloves? Gift of Gemly Queen, Steed, Bear Woman, Endurance, Mine Eyes, Mountain, the Nurse, Offering, Wolf, the Nurse? The Nurse and Carcass, the Offering and Carcass, Wolf, Wolverine, Time Lost, Volatile, the Vial. Huh, okay. Asenath's Touch. Ooh. What's Buried Treasure? Is that Vaults of Aziri? What's Buried Treasure? Exalt? Grotto looks like a really, really good farmable map, no? I mean, I still want to Exalt on SSF at least for the crafting bench. for like the 4 or 5 crafts that still use exalts. That's nice. I wonder if it still has the fusing things too. Very, very nice early one. The Achilles Divination card has been re-enabled. The Transformation Divination card, a Node in the Wind, re-enabled. Oh, nice. Very treacherous Sulfite Scarabs. Oh, right. Mad King has been re-enabled. And now Words and Ultimatum Aspect. Ooh. Dark Forest, Colosseum, Caldera, and Reef. Cool. Monster Maps and Arch Nemesis. Problem. Everyone hated Arch Nemesis and felt like they were getting stomped by rare monsters. Solution. Powerhouse Arch Nemesis. Arch Nemesis monsters each added a number of stats and buff to monsters, causing them to feel overwhelming and confusing. Monster mods now only do one specific thing. Magma Barrier did a whole lot of stuff. It started by putting Magma Barrier around the monster's physical damage to fire. It added extra fire on top. It granted fire res, and it gave physical damage reduction. The new equivalent just puts a Magma Barrier around the monster and does nothing else. Keyworded thematic monster mods give an impression of the overall effect of the monster, but did not explain exactly what they granted, requiring players to memorize them. Instead of incendiary, you'll now see ignites or fire and ignite resist. Okay, this sounds like really, really good. I mean, it's still watered down Arch Nemesis, but I do think it's better. I did make a tweet as well because they were asking for suggestions. So I made a tweet saying, give us a monster filter, right? It can be color coded. You could have instead of color coding, or as well, you could have attached symbols to things for colorblind people. And you could also give us this for maps. So, yeah. There are no changes from the manifestos. You're safe to scroll down to the Atlas tree. Cool. Right, let's see. Person no longer required to do annoying actions. Right. So all of this is just exactly the same as the manifesto then, saying scroll down to the Atlas tree. And if you haven't seen me going over the manifesto, we have that in separate videos if you're watching on YouTube. But honestly, a lot of this stuff so far, before reading all the patch notes, looks pretty good. And then we'll see how we feel at the end. Okay, Atlas tree. Currently, the Atlas passive tree creates a pressure to run only Pinnacle boss content when you're spec'd into the Atlas that will maximize your rewards, hoarding as much of it given the type content you can run before speccing back out of it. Solution. We've removed Atlas passives that increase the amount of rewards, limited content such as Shaper, Elder, Exar, Eater Worlds, and Maven. The purpose of this is that you should be able to engage with content at any time. That's really good, honestly. Like, it is very bad as well, because they did say they were removing, like, you know, the double Shaper Guardians, right? So that is really bad for this patch, but they acknowledged that and said it was coming back in the future. So I think I'll survive one league without that. That's my take on that. One league without that sounds fine. And it sounded like something they were interested in keeping, right? It is a pretty cool thing. Very good risk versus reward, which obviously I'm a big fan of. We want to improve on the concept that the Atlas tree allows players to invest into leagues that they enjoy, and have added new clusters to the passive tree for league content that can be blocked through the skill tree. We've added the chances for such league content to appear. Existing clusters have been tweaked to make them a more attractive option, and in addition, we've added a new keystone that causes scarabs used in your map device to provide increased pack size rather than their usual modifiers. That could be juicy. Would have been particularly juicy with Old Beyond. I kind of hope they like buff Beyond a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of New Beyond. Jewel and Ailment Mitigation. Jewels have modifiers that provide various forms of ailment avoidance or protection. However, because of their current value are moderately low, so the solution is for expanding the pool of available mods on magic and rare jewels, making their modifier values more generous so that players have better access to resource source of ailment mitigation. This looks particularly strong for builds that already have access to like freeze immunity, shock immunity, or something else, right? Because now you'll be able to patch up that last one, and like it should be around similar or just as fine. Yeah, like this is huge for Saboteur, Occultist. Very, very nice. We've also, regular jewels now have mods that provide reduced duration or reduced effect, and abyss jewels have mods that serve avoidance of various ailments. We've also changed monster inflicted sources of chill and shock effect to be multiplicative rather than additive. This is to allow sources of reduced effect to be able to stack and provide immunity. Oh, nice. That's very good. Now, the only annoying thing about this, the thing I don't like about this, is the fact that it's rollable, and we don't have a good way to roll rare items right now. That is a bit of an annoying thing. And I actually love the divine change. Well, not all of it, but I love the purpose it serves of making uniques and droppable uniques harder to divine and more exciting to, like, it does make the unique drops, the rolls, more impactful. That I like. I do like that. But I wish we had a better way to divine rares. I think rares, bringing back some form of harvest divines for rare items, I think would be good. At least maybe even just for divines. But honestly, I miss rares. I do like the problem it solves for I do like the problem it solves for uniques though. I do like that. Reduced effect of curses is 25 to 30. Wow. Getting curse immunity is so easy for Inquisitor especially. So a lot of these are really, really good. Many unique jewels are not exciting to find. There are a few reasons for this. In most cases, they're simply underpowered or too narrow, wide of usage. There are too many corruption-only jewels that don't fulfill a good purpose. Previously, we were hesitant to revisit unique jewels and improve them beyond their initial designs because many of the themes are somewhat rigid in nature, meaning there is very little room to improve them without completely remaking them. An example of this is the Fireborn jewel. It has no value that we could increase. I mean, they could have reworked it slightly different too. They could have made every damage increase on the skill tree is now fire. That would have made it very interesting. Just changes your entire skill tree to only increase damage. But I guess that is also sort of remaking it. We're making it so that every unique jewel that drops is very rare and highly desirable. This means that many existing unique jewels have been removed from the drop pool. The intention is that if you find a unique jewel, it should almost always be a very positive experience. To help make jewel drops, we've designed a new set of unique jewels that are powerful chase items that can drop from the core pool. With that said, wait, how's bestiary gonna be now? Is getting the bestiary unique jewel thing gonna be? I guess it'll be giga rare. With that said, there were some unique jewels that were still useful for a subset of players. They had build enabling modifiers like brute force. Instead of getting rid of these, we made them corruption only unique jewels. See, that part is very, very annoying too, because the thing about them being very common was that they were really good for mana reservation or corrupting blood immunity. Some build enabling unique jewels can now be found from more deterministic sources. One example is combat focus. At least there's a div card too for the stat ones. Some other build enabling jewels that affect the golems can no longer drop but can be found from another more deterministic source. These do not come from vendor recipes. Maybe they drop from golems. Well, it's more deterministic than that, so I don't know if that would count deterministic. Oh, yeah, maybe it's the Alva Temple when you upgrade the minion room to level 3. That would make sense. The availability of existing unique jewels have been reviewed, and many, including replica versions, can no longer be obtained. The following existing unique jewels are able to be found as drops: Inspired Learning, Intuitive Leap, Align Eyefall, Might of the Meek, Pure Talent, Unending Hunger, and Unnatural Instinct. All of these are really good. The following can only be obtained as corruption outcomes. There is Rain, Brute Force Solution, Careful Planning, Chill the Corruption, Efficient Training, Energized Armor, Energy from Within, Fertile Mind, Fevered Mind, Fluid Motion, Fortress Covenant, Fragility, Healthy Mind, Hidden Potential, Inertia, Pacifism, Powerlessness, Quickening Covenant, Rain of Splinters, Reckless Defense, Seething Fury, Self-Flagellation, Soul, Wick, and Golden Rule, and To Dust. Surprised they did that with Golden Rule. Makes sense, though. Replica Primordial Might and Replica Reckless Defense are the only replica duels that are able to be obtained. Oh man. I'm so sad the minus mana cost one is gone. That is devastating. Replica Conquer Efficiency. Honestly, it is one of the most quality of life things. It is one of the most quality of life things. I'm actually devastated about that. Added 6 new vendor recipes for Dead Reckoning, Endless Misery, Spirit Guard, and 3 combat focus unique tools. Happy hunting. Ancient Orbs and the Altar of Sacrifice can no longer be used on unique tools, flasks, or maps. Huh. The best hero recipe that creates a unique tool has been changed. Ah, right. It now creates a rare talisman. Okay. Excellent. Forgot we still had those. Added Eternal Labyrinth Helmet and chance for Spark and EK that cause projectiles to fire in a circle. The Spark... Wait, that kind of fucks me. That's awful. The Spark projectile speed and AK pierce... Oh my god. That's terrible. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, that's so bad, dude. That's so bad. Now you basically you have a mandatory helmet enchant. That's terrible. I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. I do not like that at all. Oh, that is painful. Frostblades now have 110 effectiveness of added damage up to 225. No longer has proj speed. Okay. Quality on Divergence summon Skellies is plus 0 to 1 cooldown. Summon 0 to 4. Previously. Okay, cool. Spirit Guard, unique tool now with at least 40 dex. Animate weapon can animate up to 20 ranged weapons. Previously 12. That's a buff. That's pretty big. Pure Talon. Melee skills have 20. The problem is it's hard to scale both. The running word loop. Oh, I don't actually know anything about that. I don't play softcore and it's not a really hardcore able build, but that sucks for you guys. I'm sorry. The Pure Talon provides melee skills have 25% AoE. Oh. Yeah, I guess Coda Shrapnel is gone. I guess, yeah, I think you're right. That's a pretty big nerf to size, mate. 2 new prefix modifiers can roll in rules. 2 to 3 mana restoration and 6 to 10% fast restoration. Right. Our goal is to find a unique jewel is an exciting experience. Unique jewels that drop naturally should be those that are very valuable with a broad appeal to the average player, either to use in your own build or trade to somebody else. We worked towards this goal by removing uninteresting unique jewels and adding more chase ones, and moving jewels that do appeal to smaller subsets. Am I reading this twice? Many of the unique jewels that are currently granted through quest rewards are not very desirable. I strongly disagree with this. I think that is an insane thing to put into words. Additionally, because they're offered to all players who make their way through the campaign, they're extremely common, which inhibits them from having value or being meaningful items to find. We've also come to feel that it's thematically incorrect to offer unique jewels as quest rewards, as it undermines the feeling of their uniqueness or prestige. That last part, I see. Unique jewels will no longer be offered as quest rewards. Most of the jewels were previously offered have been removed entirely. Some important ones have had their effects preserved in some form of new unique items or by being added to the pool of rollable jewels. Unique jewel from King's Feast, you get a rare weapon. Unique jewel for Wings of Asteri, rare crimson, or okay. Unique jewel through Sacred Ground. The Book of Regret is now the only reward. Because these rewards are not static like the unique jewels were. Wait, it means like 2, right? 3? 5, 8, and 3? unique dual reward in Act 3. 2, 5, and 8. Means Act 2. Right, okay, I'm not going insane, thanks. Because these rewards are not static like the unique ones were, they may have a better chance of being useful to the receiver. I mean, especially both the Act 5 and 8 ones were super valuable, and a lot of new players used the Act 3 one. I think it was like one of the most used uniques. Or Act 3 one, oh, now I'm saying it. But Act 5 and 8 were super, super useful. Curses. Currently, hex builds are at their weakest against monsters where they matter the most, and at their strongest where they matter the least. This is partly because hexes have hidden penalties to reduce their effectiveness, 33 and 66%. It's normal for these monsters to have various hidden penalties, as noting every single one of them would create a lot of clutter in their mod description. Players can expect these monsters to be more difficult to fight, so in general, showing the entire list of penalties is not very necessary. The penalty against hexes is an outlier because it's more significant compared to other hidden penalties. It's so substantial while being hidden from players, it's unlikely to be compensated for during build creation, and a notable disadvantage. We've removed these penalties. Pinnacle, map bosses, incursion, no longer have 33 or 66. Another... To be fair though, I do wonder. Wait, is that all they've done? They haven't... It doesn't seem like they've made... Well, from what I'm reading so far, it doesn't seem like they've made curses worse against trash monsters, right? They've just made them better against bosses. Am I misremembering? Oh, they do nerf them. Right. Okay, never mind. Wait until you see the new numbers, Sedge. Because I would say temp chains. Okay, so like in Path of Exile right now, the thing that I'm the most scared of is mapping. Because I feel like they've done such a good job at telegraphing bosses to the point where the bosses are very telegraphed. Whereas during mapping, it is just like this fucking like splurge of things, and it's not always very clear what's gonna one shot you. You have like, Marrakech sand, pocket sand that's like pyaw, and it like one shots you. So I actually feel like temp chains is at its strongest during mapping. So that being nerfed for like mapping is gonna be a little sad. Also mods, anyone writing a spoiler, feel free to like time them out for a full day. Like I just saw one there. Actually, I'm gonna time him out myself. All right. 2 days. There. Another issue is that we feel hex builds is the Doom mechanic. We designed Doom with the goal of making self-cast hexes more effective than other more trivial applications such as Blasphemy and Hex Touch. The Doom mechanic was somewhat successful in its goal, became at the cost of adding a lot of complexity. Removing Doom and all stats that have reference Doom be replaced with Curse. Curse Mastery that grants 20% chance to gain Doom can be applied with maximum Doom, and 30% mana restoration for aura skills have been replaced. The mana restoration has been replaced as there is a much larger amount of restoration for Curse auras, and the 2 new Masteries, 40% reduced extra damage from critical strikes by cursed enemies. Wow. Wow. While the second one is recover 1% of life when you curse a non-cursed enemy. And recover 1% of mana when you curse a non-cursed enemy. Huh. Does that work with Blasphemy, or do you have to self-cast it? Do you think you can run in and out of mobs? Or more importantly, in and out of worms? From Worm Flask to heal yourself? Just by that? Do you see what I mean? Because they're uncursed, and then they become cursed. Hexes you cast? Did it say that? It doesn't say that. I don't know. Interesting. We can experiment with it. Probably works. Yeah, we'll see. We can experiment with things. It says when you curse, you Blasphemy is still you. Existing curses passive skills have been reworked. They now have 6 curse clusters. Vampirism is moved to the passive tree to make space for a new cluster and more accessibility. The Whispers of Doom, self-curse dead? No, self-curse is buffed. What do you mean? The Whispers of Doom, you can apply an additional curse. Now has a much larger selection of small passives. 5% effect, curse speed, AoE, mana restoration, or curse duration. Huh, cool. It's a lot of mana restoration. The Malicious Intent, +2 level of curse skill gems, has 15% duration and 5% curse effect. Defiled Forces, refresh duration of Ignite, Chill, and Shock on non-cursed enemies you curse. And 100% chance to remove Ailment when you cast a curse spell with small passive skills. Curse skills have 10% increased cast speed. Right. The last right notable passive, curse skills, cursed enemies you kill are destroyed. Wow. Wow. Holy shit. Wow, that is insane. And still provides enemies cursed by you a 50% reduced life regen. Passive skills granting 1% mana when you kill a cursed enemy and 1% life, 2% mana and 2% life. Wow. Wow. Am I league starting Occultist? Am I league starting Occultist Bane? Two for Trickster is probably better. Occultist is so fun for the pops though. I mean, Trickster is better for hardcore. I mean, not necessarily softcore. Friendship ended with Essence Drain. I called dibs on that. No, sorry. The Skittering Runes have 50% increased area of effect of hex skills, 20% mana restoration of curse auras, and reduced mana cost of curse skills. Has small passives granting 15% AoE, another 10% restoration of curse skills, and 10% reduced mana cost. The Steeped and the Profane. Wow, this looks kind of insane so far. We need to like see numbers more, but the Steeped and the Profane notable passive tree gives 15% reduced effect of curses, 10% increased effect of curses, and 5% increased effect of curses. Wow. Okay, I mean, at the moment, it's like everything. I'm not through the patch notes yet, but everything's screaming Trickster. Quality on the Divergent Impending Doom support no longer has 0 to minus 25% more damage with hits per 5 Doom, 0 to 40% cooldown reduction. Delirium now provides chance to block instead of +10 Doom. Wow. Wow, that's a large amount. 7 block? Wow. This is a huge buff. This is insane. Wow. That is massive. Wonder if it's prefix or suffix. I'm assuming suffix, but it could be prefix. That's a great fracture target, yeah. Or you just fracture +1. Nah, you still probably fracture +1. The legacy +5 Doom has been replaced with 5% curse effect. And +10 Doom is +10 curse effect. Hexblast has had its skill mechanics and damage adjusted to account for the loss of Doom. Broadly speaking, it does less damage at the very top end, but getting it to a fairly decent level is easier than before. It removes the hex with the lowest remaining duration from an enemy after damaging. Its damage is also more consistent because you no longer need to wait for Doom to build up. Its damage is also more consistent because you no longer... Its damage is also more consistent because you no longer need to wait for Doom to build up. Now there's 2 typos. And the damage is also more consistent because you no longer need to wait for the Doom to build up. Specifics. Hexblast no longer has any Doom-related stats as a cast time of 1 second instead of 0.6 and a mana cost. That could feel bad though. Sort of. You're like more animation locked than before. And a mana cost of 16 instead of 10. Like that's a very beefy cast time. Scaling up to 30 at gem level 20, previously 20, and it now deals 92 to 138 chaos damage at gem level 1. 1262, 1836, so like 200 nerf there. It has 100% more damage if the enemy is hexed, 60% more damage if the spell cast time is added to its cooldown if triggered, and removes the hex after damaging. It added so that it has 280 effectiveness of damage instead of 310. It used to be so much more percentage damage. Hexblast seems so dead. I've never really been a Hexblast enjoyer, so I honestly, it means very little to me. It means very little to me. But it doesn't sound good on paper. Anyway, we'll move down to here. I really don't understand most of the Hexblast stuff. I guess I'll read it anyway. Doom Blast from the Impending Doom now deals 100 to 150 at gem level 1, up to 2,481 instead of 1,301. 370 effective damage instead of 200. Doomsday has been replaced with a new Hex Master Keystone. Okay. Specifics for the uniques added. Heretic's Vaal is now +2 instead of +1, and Sucked Gems have 30% restoration instead of 20. Restoration efficiency change affects the existing items through a diviner will need to be... okay. Cosprey's will always poison on hitting against cursed enemies. Oh, that's kind of neat. It also has a 31 to 53 chaos res. Oh, that's kind of neat. Stop spoiling things in chat. Every time I look, there's a spoiler. God damn it. I don't understand. Like, what is your obsession with? Oh my god, I can read faster. The Elfbane Trickery no longer has 20% chance to curse non-cursed enemies with a random. New version says cursed enemies which hit you with a random hex. Oh, cursed enemies which hit you with a random hex, ignoring curse limit. Huh. And if you do that and make them infinite, eventually bosses will have every curse? Interesting. Fellbug Fang and Each will now cause enemies cursed by you to be hindered with 30% reduced movement speed if 20% of the curse duration expired. And enemies cursed by you take 35% increased damage if 75% expired. Ugh. In most cases, systems that facilitate some automated gameplay like Hex Touch should either come at a higher cost or be less effective. In some cases, both are needed to counterbalance the significant upside of automation. Otherwise, the option to automate will always be the obvious choice. The Doom mechanic was aimed at fulfilling this function for hexes and is being replaced by alternative, simpler solutions. We'd added penalties to Blasphemy and Hex Touch supports, which grant less curse effect at all levels. Additionally, item mods that inflict a specific hex no longer do so with increased effect. This includes items where the hex is supposed to be a downside, such as Coward's Chains, Coward's Legacy, or Soul Mantle. To be fair, while this is an annoying change, it is kind of fair, right? Like, it is obviously like way more lucrative to have everything automated and applied completely automatically. So it is fair that self-cast should always be the best thing. And yeah, you usually don't need it for most mobs, except Temp Chains is pretty big. It is fair. It's hard to argue it's not fair. It does suck though. It sucks and annoying, but it's fair. Hex Touch support is 35% less effective supported curse at all levels. Supported skills have 50% reduced curse duration at level 1, up to 31 at level 20. Quality is increased duration instead of effect. Wow. Okay, this is important to the patch notes reading. Bex just sent me this. This is from the GGG Discord. This paragraph repeats the last line. It's just extra consistent. Fixed. Thank you. I just noticed it because Sis noticed it. Sis can read. Rude! Rude, I read good. I read good. She's not wrong though. Right. Awaken Hexter support now has 35% less photo curses. At all levels, supported skills of 30% reduced curse duration at level 1. Piercy 10. Okay, right. That's fine. Blasphemy support, 25% less. I guess 25 is not that bad. Right? It's not that bad. Like, for mapping, it should still be fine. Mm, mm, mm. Less? I know. But it's... I mean, Temp Chains is the one I'm worried about for mapping. It is a straight up nerf. Yeah, but I mean, self-casting should be the most powerful. Of course it's a nerf. They also nerf the quality. I know. Self-casting should be the most powerful, though. It's hard to argue against that. Blasphemy support, 25% less. Quality and upgrade 0 to 20% AoE instead of effect. Awaken Blasphemy, 25% and the same. Hexes applied by Bane now have 25% less effect. Oof. Oof. That feels unnecessary. That is self-casting. That feels a little unnecessary. It's still a really large buff. Yeah, but item modifiers that inflict a specific hex no longer do so with increased effect. This includes items where the hex is a downside. Right. Curse on hit modifiers that appear on influence rings now only have a single tier as they're identical. The 80 modifier. Okay, so they kept the higher one. Right. Problem. Different hex types are not evenly balanced when applied via a hex on hit modifier. Some hexes like Vaal and Despair are much more powerful than others, and this is because hex on hit modifiers have a equivalent level 1 version, and some are very strong at level 1 relative to their level 20 power. Solution. We're stabilizing the gem scaling of hexes. In general, they should be twice as powerful as level 20 than they are at level 1. Punishment is now 30% at level 1, up to 58% at level 20, previously 78. It no longer has 10% overkill damage, it's reflected. Quality on Divergent Punishment is AoE. Oh, no longer is AoE. And instead provides overkill damage is reflected to other enemies. Right. Ally Weakness is minus 15 at level 1 and minus 30 at level 20, previously 39%. How much of a buff is this against bosses still? It's quite large. We should have a large amount of damage increase on bosses, no? Especially poison builds are probably going to be crazed. Like, insane. Poison builds might be, like, literally busted. Or anything that stacks. 0 to 10% effect of curse. Oof, okay. Quality on anomalous ally weakness no longer grants effect. Reduce our curse duration. Right, okay. Maybe Seismic Trap will be good this league, guys. Flammability now causes cursed enemies to have minus 17 instead of 25 and minus 36. Frostbite's the same and conductivity's the same. And they last slightly longer now. Not Temp Chains. Temp Chains is base of 5 up to 8 at level 20. Oh. Wow. That's nice. Okay. I mean, there are some bad things, some good things for curses. I think on overall, it's more positive, I think. Right? I think it's very fair that self-cursing is very strong. It is more annoying to do, thus it should be stronger. We get a huge damage boost against bosses. We get a large damage increase. Yeah, Vash. And self-casting against bosses isn't even bad. Yeah, and against rares too. It honestly, especially for me, I do self-cast. I do wish Bane was just giga busted because Bane's kind of cute. I like playing it. But it hasn't felt that amazing in the start. It has a bit of a single target problem. I feel like with chaos skills, I always felt like you need multiple. It's like, oh, I want to play a chaos build. I need 4 skills. You know, kind of like Cold Dot. We feel that there are currently too many sources of curse effect. This has created a large power gap between players that have no investment and those that invest heavily. Um, okay, it's not a good thing. Um, Solution: we are regulating the number of curse effects throughout the game. They will also rein in the power of players building curse support characters. These changes have been focused on less accessible curse sources, such as Eldritch Implicits, rather than accessible sources like the passive tree. Alright. For example, the one that used to grant flammability effect now allows your flammability hex to apply to hexproof enemies and also causes your ignites to deal damage faster. I mean, that could be really good. The Eternal Lab Helmet Enchant that grants effective curses applied by Bane knows a value of 10%, previously 15. Okay. Effect to a specific hex now has a value of 10. Previously 15, and 15 for the Eternal instead of 30. Oof. Okay. Eldritch Implicit Modifier that increased effect to specific hex now values of 16, previously 36. Wow, they're really going down on the effect. I guess that makes sense. Previously 60, up to 22. Although, honestly, I would probably have never cared. Honestly, okay, real talk, I completely discounted all of the Pinnacle ones except in Gauntlet. And now, even though it's not 60 anymore, oh my god. Stop spoiling. Jesus Christ. Enjoy a permaban. I hate people, dude. Yes, you can read. Good. Thank you. I don't get it, dude. That guy literally deserves a perma. Um, alright. Up to 22%. But yeah, the 22% is huge. With the no like penalty thing. Right. Glorious Vanity 4 to 6 instead of 7 to 10. I'm surprised they kept it on Glorious Vanity. 2%. The increased effect of your curses can no longer roll on abyss rolls at all. Increased effect of curses. Redeemer influence items have 8 to 12 instead of 12 to 15. Veiled modifiers are 8 to 10 instead of 12 to 14. Damning is 10 to 15 instead of up to 25. Jinx Juju no longer has 5 to 10 curse effect. It's 10 to 15 increased effect of non-curse auras. Huh. Cool. The Delve exclusive body armor roll that can no longer drop. Okay. The following curse clusters have been reworked. Now provides hexproof enemies on every curse. Oh, and it does something else. +1 max res if you kill the cursed enemy. Recover 2% ES. Culling strike against cursed enemies on punishment. Enemies you curse are unnerved. Interesting. Loads of cluster jewels. Wow, wish for death and master of fear and forbidden words are gone. Inevitable doom now provide evil eye. Wow, curse clusters. We've removed 15% increased effect of curses and enemies you curse a malediction from the malediction notable. Your hexes can affect hexproof enemies. It's been moved from Profane Bloom to the malediction notable. And we will be renaming this notable passive as it no longer costs you to apply malediction. Due to significant increase in the power of hexes against tougher monsters, the effect of this notable is still very strong, as the removal of the hex penalty cannot be understated. The massive buff to hexes especially applies to occultists because they have access to more hexes. The curse effect removed from the notables previously known as malediction has been moved to the passive skill tree where it's available for everyone. This is important because while the occultist is still the strongest overall to specialize in curses, it's not mandatory to play for someone who merely wants to apply really strong hexes. Occultist Profane Bloom, notable, no longer provides your hexes can affect hexproof enemies. It now provides cursed enemies have a 50% chance to explode, previously 40%. Yo, they buffed Profane Bloom? I did not see that coming. Holy shit. What the hell? I did not see that coming. I would not, I was expecting a nerf. Not gonna lie, I was reading this fully expecting a nerf. Anyone else? Like, I saw Profane Bloom and I was like, nerf and maybe a change. Malediction notable, renamed Unholy Authority, and no longer provides 15% effect or enemies have Malediction, and now provides. I feel like is that all it does now? It literally just is your hexes can affect hexproof enemies. I feel like it should have something else. Oh, and +1 curse. Right. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. I mean, no bosses. Like, no unique bosses or hexproof, right? Only Behemoth used to be. The current balance of Enfeeble and Temp chains makes them exceedingly strong against normal and magic monsters while being relatively ineffective against Pinnacle bosses. Didn't you just say earlier that curses were not strong where they matter the most, but they do matter against normal and magic monsters, especially these two? So, I don't know. For example, a level 20 Temp Chains gem currently reduces a Pinnacle boss action speed by just 4%. You can get more than twice that by using any skill that chills. Because of the changes to curse effect, we're now able to make Temp Chains and Enfeeble strong defensive options without requiring a large investment into curse effect. Okay, so how much is it going to be now? Oh yeah, and we're also planning to increase cursed, rare, and unique enemies to have less action speed on Temp Chains and less damage on Enfeeble. Enfeeble now causes normal or magic enemies to deal 15% less damage at level 1. And 29 at level 20. So nerfed by 1% there. It now causes rare or cursed rare or unique enemies to deal 9%, 18% at level 20. Wow. Wait, that's insane, no? Because against unique, it gets both, right? No, it doesn't get both. Never mind. Right? It doesn't get both. No, it doesn't get both. But 18, that's huge. I was like, wait, does it get both? But no, it doesn't. It only gets the 18. But 18%, that's basically like fortifying. Quality no longer grants 0 to 10% increased effect of curse. Anomalous and Feeble no longer cause curse to have doom rate. AoE instead. The only thing that I don't like about curses is for, like environmental effects that are definitely a very, very big part of the encounter. Like, the at Comb, like the fire things coming out of the wall, like things like that. It's a very big part of the encounter, and if you're playing a build that like is investing into Enfeeble as a damage thing, doesn't affect that at all, and you're still getting shredded by Temp Chains. Enfeeble not gonna affect it, or like things from bosses and death effects, like it doesn't get affected by that. So that's like a scary thing about having these as your defense. Temp Chains, normal magians, 15 to 29, 18. Wow. 18. Wow, dude. 18. Wow. That's a lot. That is going to be really nice. Honestly, that is going to be huge for Ruthless if you're ever going to want to do Uber Shaper. What was it before against bosses? Was it 2%, 3%, 4%? So on Pinnacle bosses from 4% to 18. So pretty large buff. Pretty large boss. And that's without effect. So it's huge. That'll be very noticeable. I wonder how much you can like reduce it by total. Well, you'll probably get to like max reduction now. While working on the updates outlined above, we took the opportunity to make some stat changes to Vaal and Despair to make these gems cleaner. These are now focused more on making enemies vulnerable to Fizz and Chaos in ways that are generically useful for any build, dealing primarily with Fizz or Chaos. Eh? Vulnerability no longer has ailments inflicted on cursed enemies deal damage 20% faster. Now has cursed enemies take 15% increased physical damage. Oof. Damn. That's bad. That's a very big change. 30% of gem level 39. Wow, that's awful. Now has attacks against cursed enemies have 25% chance to inflict bleeding. And duration. Wow, that's awful. Despair no longer causes cursed enemies to take 15 to 25 increased damage from damage or time effects. It no longer adds and no long oh wow, it no longer adds flat chaos. Wow. It now causes cursed enemies to have minus 15 chaos resist? Oh no! Oh no! Up to minus 30. Wow. Okay, that kind of sucks. It's still a big buff for stuff like Chaos Dot. I guess we have Wither. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. We do have 100 from Wither. Maybe I'm overthinking it. We'll check in POB. Quality on Anomalous Despair no longer gives 0 to 10 effective curse. Hexes will be stronger against tougher monster, weaker against lesser monsters. We removed Doom in order to curse. Made several other balance changes. I guess. Well, we'll have to math it out. It sounded very big, but maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I didn't think about Wither, which you are right. We are going to have max Wither stacks against any boss. So maybe it won't be as impactful with Wither in mind. You're right. You're right, chat. I'm probably overthinking it. Endgame unique weapons. Oh my god. How long? How many rants do I have on my YouTube about this? How many rants, dude? Oh my god, I see this favor. I hope I've like impacted this in any way. I must have like 10 videos on it. I'm excited. Many of Path of Exile's most iconic unique attack-based weapons have fallen out of use over the years. This is mainly because attack-based builds prioritize high base builds, damage over all else, and unique weapons are currently not able to compete with rare weapons in this regard, while a fundamental aspect of Path of Exile's itemization, in the case of these iconic weapons, they get outclassed before they're reasonably acquired. Honestly, I think it's so hard. I feel like like unique weapons in PoE are so hard. You basically have to constantly refresh them because we get so much rare item power creep. It's actually why I didn't want to design a unique weapon. Because like, yeah, it'll be strong for a year and then it's 1C. And I didn't want that. We've increased the power of some existing uniques. In most cases, the items have been made significantly rarer. Yes! Chase items. Chase items. The series' disfavor no longer has +2 good support gems. Existing versions are unaffected. Wow, so existing ones are like giga worth. I have like 400 disfavors. 310 to 330 fist damage and 390 fist damage. Wow. How much is it now? Is it back over 600? Plus 10, plus 10, plus 10, plus 10 weapon range. Oh my god. Did you at least put it back on Uber Zeri? Wow. Oh my god. Can we get some applause? Please put it back on Uber Zeri. I mean, I guess it's not bad if normally Zeri has exciting drops. I might melee league start, dude. I might league start melee. Literally might league start melee. New versions of 30 quality of socketed support gems. Wait, what? All of them? All of them? Wait, not just standard. Like, all is that instead of this? Wait, no, all of them? Wow! Wow! Oh, more applause! More applause! Oh, that's so exciting! Oh, that's awesome! I'm so hyped for this league. I've just read one line of unique items. Look how easy to please I am. Oh my god, I love you, GDD. Fuck, that's awesome. Oh my god, dude. Okay. Oh, Beanos. I love Beanos. Please be a buff. The Beanos unique dodger no longer has 30% increased dot. It now adds very high amounts of fist damage. I mean, it had that before. Okay. Right. I was hoping for more for Beanos. I mean, actually, maybe it has enough damage now. The Bloodseeker unique claw. It's huge. Yeah. Oh, wait, because it doesn't have percentage? I don't know. It might be good enough to use now. The Bloodseeker unique claw now is 200 to 220 and adds 25 to 30 fizz. Wow. Wow. That's a big on the percentage and the flat. Is Bloodseeker over 300 PDPS now? Am I remembering right? Is Bloodseeker the Vaal Pack Claw? Right? It is, right? I'm pretty sure it is. Pretty sure it is. Oh. 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 It's 400? Yo. That was hard to do a build around before, but now. Wow. Divinarius unique dodger has 100 to 150 spell damage instead of 50 to 70. 100 to 200 life per enemy killed. 50 to 100 mana. And now has 200 to 250 spell crit and 60 to 100 crit multi. Wow, that's a good dagger. Wow, that's an exciting drop. The Essentia Sanguinis, oh, please buff this. No longer has 140 to 180 increased fist damage or 50 reduced max recovery per ES. Existing versions are affected. It now adds 1 to 600 lightning damage. And no longer reduced. Wow. Wow. That could be exciting. What's the attack speed on Sanguinis? What's the attack speed on it? It's quite high, no? $1.69. Oh. Alright. The Kingmaker unique axe now is 300 to 360. Is there flat fizz on Kingmaker? Kingmaker PoE. There's not. Is that enough for Kingmaker? How much is he gonna have now? Kitava's Feast has the socketed gems supported by level 30 melee splash. I don't know. Those two, I wish Kingmaker was buffed a little bit. I wish they added like 20 flat fizz or 30 flat fizz on Kingmaker because Soul Taker looked crazy. Disfavor is 800 top end now. Disfavor is actually such a chase item. I wonder if they put it back on Uber Zeri. The Lionized Glare. Yeah, that's a big buff for Lionized. Marui Erki now has 500 to 600 increased fist damage. Honestly, Marui Erki could be... No, because AoE's not going to matter for the new skill, right? Savior, 130 to 150. Wow. Wow. Saviors. Wow. 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 Soul Taker got a huge buff. It was like 420 PDPS. Replica Soul Taker can no longer be obtained. Starforge is 400 to 450. Varunastra, 80 to 100. Honestly, I wish Varunastra was used more. I think it's such a cool item, dude. Such a cool idea, man. Honestly, it's kind of feeling a little Melee League. The Void Forge unique sword no longer has 30 to 6 fist damage. It now has gained 7. Who knows what I'm thinking? Animate weapon. Holy shit. Oh my god. Can I get 40 million animate weapon again? Oh my Oh, oh my god. What was my last one? I think I had 12 million with my last one with the Void Forge, and that was before they nerfed gas or buffed ghastly jewels, and that was with the 300%. Oh my god. It's barely a buff. The loss of weapon damage balanced it out. Not for Animate Weapon, it doesn't. Not for Animate Weapon, it doesn't. It balances it out for other things. Doesn't balance it for Anime Weapon, where you have infinite flat fizz. Anime Weapon don't care. Oh my god. How does it work? So on Ghastly Jewels, you can get a shit ton of flat fizz for your weapons. And then you use Chains of Command to summon infinite Void Forges. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I hope I make that work this league. Oh. And you can get so much flat fizz, especially with the Abyssal Belt. The Voltaxic Rift no longer has... they're buffing Voltaxic? Yo! No longer has 10% chance to shock. Existing version of this unique are unaffected. It now has 1 to 750 lightning damage. And 100% of lightning damage converted to chaos! Oh my god, it's back! Oh my god, it's back! Oh! 5 years of no usage. That took way too long. Oh my god. I mean, it's still better for Lightning Arrow now. I mean, yeah, you can use it for Spark, but like, oh my god. These unique changes are like pretty much the best thing about the patch notes. Oh my god. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy, dude. Literally half a decade. Oh my. Is he excited? Oh. Oh. But they're so rare. I play so much. What do you mean? I've had like 18 headhunters drop. What do you mean they are so rare? That's a you problem, not a me problem. Worst case scenario, I go trade league and I buy whatever the fuck I want. Anyway. I'm excited. Whew. And yeah, it has a div card. Oh, I'm excited. Sorry, I'm just really excited. This feels good, dude. This feels good. Oh, so many videos of ranting. Mitigating monster life. I'm sorry, I don't know if I can continue. That felt so good. Wonder if it's a normal disfavor or Uber. Surely it's on Uber now. There's no way they let something that strong be on normal Azeri, unless it's just giga rare. I'm gonna ask, are we allowed to know if this favor was moved back to Uber Azeri? I'll ask. Oh, man. I need a pat down. Mitigating monster life regen. Monster life regen. So excited. Monster life regen is rarely a significant issue for the player, but in cases where it does present an obstacle, there are few solutions available to deal with it. Just be an occultist, lol. Introduce new sources to mitigate monster life regen. 60% life recovery from flask when used on low life. Huh? 60% increased life recovery from flask when used on low life is now found on the base soul of Rosatha. Wait, I'm so confused. I feel like I just read... Oh, the upgraded soul of Rosatha. Okay, yeah, important. Yeah, reading is more important. Okay, reading's bad. I'm hard at reading. I'm bad at reading. The upgraded soul of Rosatha, now enemies you've hit recently have 50% reduced life regenerate, and the 50% increased life recovery from flask has been replaced with nearby enemies of 50% life regenerate. Okay, that makes more sense. I felt like I just like read like, what would you like as your pizza toppings, followed by we're going to Tokyo, and I was very confused. Strike skills and additional enemies. Nearby? Yeah, honestly, okay. Well, that's something I would like to continue to rant about now. I really want, literally just give us a radius number. Like, because this means nothing to anyone, whether they're a new player or a veteran player. This means literally nothing. If they said like radius 30, now have 50 reduced life regen, just literally give us a radius number, because after a little bit of playing, people will get used to a radius number, right? Like we have weapon radius. Weapon radius doesn't say increased nearby weapon hits. Like it really just give us a number. We'll get used to it eventually. And you could have like, because they said something about like, oh, but we don't want them to be changeable, or we don't want all of them to be changeable. Well, do like, I don't know, one that's unchangeable, one that isn't. Strike skills and additional enemies. I wonder if this is going to be Melee League. Most strike skills are currently reliant on ways to strike extra targets and or deal splash damage in order to compete with other builds. Add melee splash access to the passive skill tree and move the single additional strike skill there to attack mastery. Okay. Treble Fury. They could have just. They could have kept both, I feel. They could have. Because we lost one strike. Well, the problem is that we've lost one strike. Because this is moved. It's not added. Oh, read more? Okay. How did we lose one? From the unique jewel that we lost. The Tribal Fury no longer has strike deals 1 additional, and now has melee strikes deal splash damage to surrounding enemies. The 2 passives, 10% melee damage and 15 have been removed. Added a new attack mastery that provides strike deals target 1 additional nearby enemy. Right, okay. So Tribal Fury still sort of does that. But we still lost, which replaces strike deals can do 30 damage away. But we did lose the jewel. We gained a whole support gem though. Yeah. Nobody used that? What do you mean? I used that. Pious Path. Problem. The recovery provided by the consecrated ground you create from Light Treatment to also recover energy shield. Is significant on its own. Oh no, please don't nerf this. So having 50% increased effect of consecrated ground feels overboard. No, it doesn't. It doesn't feel overboard at all. Solution. The Inquisitor Pious Path Ascendancy no longer provides 50% effect of consecrated ground. Oh no. Okay. I mean, Inquisitor is my favorite Ascendancy. It's bound to get nerfed a lot. I have news. I do have news from Grindy Games. Zizaran, are we allowed to know if this favor was moved back to Ubrid Ziri? Bex_GDD today at 9:47 p.m. Yes, it was moved back. You can tell chat. So this favor is now a Ubrid Ziri drop, making Ubrid Ziri a really stacked endgame boss to farm. That's awesome. I'm so happy they moved it back. That's awesome. Actually, chase items. That's awesome. That's actually so goated. Good chase, yeah. I was so worried they were going to keep it on normal at Ziri. When is Ubrid Ziri? Spectral Helix and Lightning Conduit. Problem. Both Spectral Helix and Lightning Conduit are currently too strong at all stages of the game relative to other similar skills. Lightning Conduit! Nobody saw this coming. Surely nobody saw either of these nerfs coming. How could anyone predict this? How could anyone? Solution. We've lowered the damage of these two types to bring them more in line with others. At least Spectral Helix was only good for 1 league. Wait, is there actually no Seismic nerf? I will actually tilt. The only thing is lost was the fucking jewel. Spectral Helix now has 100% increased effectiveness instead of 160. It was very strong at level 1. And up to 150 at 20. Wow, that's a big nerf. Lightning Conduit is... Wow. Like 30% damage loss at level 1. And like 30... Is that 30%? 40%? Wow, no, it's way bigger. 140 effective damage. Okay. We didn't announce this in live stream, but we can confirm that you'll be able to save up consecutive sanctums up to... Oh! This changes everything. Oh, I'm way more excited about the league now. Oh, that's huge. Oh, that changes everything. That's huge. Oh my god. That's great. That's saved. I don't understand why they would not save that. Why would they not say that? That's crazy. They just added that. I don't care. Explain? Okay. So, from watching the league trailer, we were under the impression, okay, either they just added it or not. It doesn't matter, right? Can we just accept it's better now? Okay? It's better now. So, what it sounded like was that you had to go into one map and then do one sanctum, and then you couldn't do a sanctum until your next map. Now you can save up 8. I don't care if they just changed it. I don't care. It's better now. That's good. That sounds way better. I just want to be happy, chat. Okay, Lightning Strike. Who could have seen Lightning Strike being in the patch notes? Do you know what would shock me if Nightblade is in here? That would shock me. Actually, that would shock me. I don't know why they never fucking nerf Nightblade, dude. Is there anything that's more busted than Nightblade in the game? Like, what an actual insane thing to put in a video game. Anyway, I'm gonna not read chat now because I'm worried people are gonna spoil. Lightning Strike problem. Lightning Strike is currently overperforming in comparison to other skills. No way, dude. It's probably gonna stop the double stacking, right? We've changed the number of additional projectiles fired. It now requires more investment for improved clear speed. Lightning Strike now fires 2 additional projectiles, and quality on Divergent no longer provides 0 to 2 additional projectiles. A helmet enchant, though, wasn't used that much before. So the Uber one has 2 now instead of 3, but I guess we actually want to use the Uber one and get Pierce somewhere else. I mean, I could see Lightning Strike still being the best endgame thing, because what I thought they were going to remove was the, I thought they were going to remove the stacking. So, okay, cool. So I guess that is still the strongest at the endgame? Vaal is unchanged. Yeah, I think it will still be the strongest at the endgame then. So maybe like a little bit harder to get it going, but it's still the strongest. It's still probably the best, to be honest. I still think it's the best. We'll see. I thought they were going to remove the stacking. Divergent Second Wind. The life regen on skill use provided by Divergent Second Wind has been as irreconcilable bugs with a few other stats that interact with life regen. We replace the stat with Divergent Second Wind with generic life recovery. Irreconcilable? Okay, that's a hard word. Hey, it's not my first language, all right? You guys speak Norwegian next. Quality on Divergent Second Wind supports no longer grant regen 0 to 1. It grants 0 to 1. No longer runs regenerate. Oh, it's recover instead, right? Okay. Onslaught. Ooh. Oh, I was not expecting to see Onslaught in the patch notes. Historically, Onslaught itself has never been a buff and cannot be scaled by modifiers, as its only effect has you have Onslaught, which isn't very sensible. Onslaught is now buff, and modifiers to buff effect now apply to Onslaught. This includes... What? 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 Wow. You know, somebody should make some like Mage Blood memes with like, this is Mach 3, and then like this, and then like, and this is Mach 5, and then like the skin just like pulling back. Wow, dude. Wowie. That is insane. Withering Step and Elusive. Withering Step could be used to keep a far stronger elusive effect on average, especially in combination with Nightblade. Normally, you have to wait for elusive to gradually lose effectiveness, but with Withering Step, you could replace it. Yes. Withering Step can no longer be used while already elusive. Interesting. You could have just maybe had that it didn't reset it. That sounds annoying. While already elusive. So it doesn't really work for elusive builds at all. You can only... Huh. Okay. I guess it's just for curse builds now. That's a 9-play nerf. I'll take it. Huh. Ancestor Totem. Added a new totem mastery that provides Ancestor Totem buff effects linger for 3 seconds, which replaces the 50% totem placement range. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting you put the totem on your head like a hat and you run around with it. But I guess this really is doubling down on it as a It's also, you normally don't take the totem mastery if you're playing melee. I don't know. This doesn't really achieve anything. It doesn't really achieve anything. It's probably not worth the investment. Tainted Orb of Fusing. Use this known? Yeah. Tainted Orb of Fusing. When reintroducing tainted currency items, the chances for different outcomes were rebalanced to be appropriate for the core game. The new odds for tainted fusings made it hard to justify using one, as your gear could be an expensive venture. We've changed the odds to be more favorable to match where they were in Scourge League. Oh, okay. Cool. That's big. Fracturing Orb. Due to the change to Exalted on Vibes, Harbinger felt relatively unrewarding to farm. We've added the best orb in the game as the solution. Very cool. Thank you. Cyrus's Arena. It's hard to tell where the edge of the Cyrus Arena and when environmental decorations are visually atomized. We've changed these visuals so you can tell where the edge of the arena is after a deatomized storm has passed over the decorations. Oh. Corrosive Hunger. Wading through ooze in the Infinite Hunger fight can be overly punishing if not using a movement skill. I felt that recently when I killed it on Ruthless. Reduced the rate at which players gain corrosive stacks. Okay. I mean, it's... I just hate the entire swamp. If I could remove anything from the game, I think I would remove that. Bestiary Party Play. Bestiarian Party Play currently awards a beast to every player, causing Party Play to be the best way to capture specific rare beasts. Additional captures of a beast when playing in a party are now rolled on a per-player basis, with the chance being tied to the quantity bonus granted for playing in a party. The owner of the instance is still guaranteed to receive the captured beast. RIP Multiboxing Masfia. I mean, honestly, I think that's fine. It was totally OP. And it made me feel whenever I'm trade league, it felt dumb not running my party missions with other people. So that's fair. I like that. Kirak Complete the Map mission is a bit too generous in the unique maps offered, with some of the more unique maps being offered more frequently than they should. Kirak's giftiness for the maps offered has been reduced, and the chances for him to offer more rare unique maps are now more reasonable. Identified memory lane. Yeah, I mean, we still have the... We still have the rerolls. So, that seems fine. It's whatever. Kirak's kind of OP anyway. I clutch on Kirak a lot in SSF. Identified memory lanes. It's possible to use Path of Exile trade to determine the modifiers on unidentified Atlas memories. Oh, they now drop ID'd. Rogue Markers. Upon leaving town in Act 6 and killing your first set of monsters, you'd very quickly obtain rogue markers and be told to go back to talk to Kurai. This disrupted the flow of the main quest line. You were directed to do more and more things to initiate a heist quest. We've removed the guaranteed rogue marker draw from Act 6. Oh no. Monster balance. Boiling ambushes found in maps now cause frostbite instead of ele weakness. Oh, thank fuck. The bone prison skill used by Necro map boss. It was real! It was real! I knew it! I tweeted this was real. I was like, this isn't Markov. This is real! It was real! Also, that was actually me and Steele were sitting on a call and he said it. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. And then he was like, you should tweet that. And I was like, you tweet it. And he was like, no, I don't like tweeting. I was like, fine, I'll tweet it. Magnus Stonethorn, cast when damage taken molten shell, now requires more damage to be triggered and now absorbs more damage in map areas, proportional to the life changes that Rogue Exiles received in 3.19. The skill now has a 1 second cooldown, previously none. Huh. That's kind of scary. I don't like that. Is that gonna one-shot me now? I don't like that. It already does a lot of damage. I don't like that. But only once per second. Keurig League mods available. Anarchy, and we can farm the Voltaxic card from Anarchy. Domination, which is great. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice at least. We take all the nodes. Breach 4C, Beyond 5C, Harbinger 6C. I am spamming Harbinger. I hope I have a good source of chaos. I really hope the roguelike game, which by the way, actually looks, honestly, it looks amazing. I know I was supposed to say this league looks dog shit because I'm never right about leagues. But oh my god, it all looks amazing. Also, yeah, such a good goal league. I really wish essences were on here though. I know, I'm sorry, I'm ruining the league. It just looks amazing, dude. Everything looks amazing. I'm so excited. Delirium 10C. That's crazy. Ritual 13C. I mean, Ritual can be insanely rewarding. I guess it's your best bet to farm mirrors. It looks exciting, alright? I'm excited. Oh my god. Did they really not nerf Seismic? Did they really? Okay. So, oh my god, they buffed Seismic. But, however, it did lose the jewel. Losing coded is pretty big. But you can make up for that with gloves. Bolster and curse is now OP. I mean, Disperse not nerfed for that. Oh, I wonder if you do Impale Seismic now. But that's hard to get. That's from an Uber boss. It doesn't matter if it's good with an Uber thing. Okay, anyway. We'll read more. Shield Crush is now offered to the Marauder. Volcanic Fissure is now offered to the Marauder. Curse Crown, Multi-Totem, Frozen Agent. I don't care about these. User interface changes. Added a display that details the effects of all the Eldritch Altars that have been selected. That's great. Right-clicking on a Chronicle allows you to view the temple. Oh, nice. Updated Atlas mission info. To clarify, accumulated Atlas missions are based on the highest tier you've completed. Hovering over a recipe that adds a specific modifier to the best tier displays a preview. That's so good. Added slots for the newly introduced Fracture Orb and Shard to the Currency Stash tab, and the League filter now only lists leagues you have a character in. Oh, finally. The mini energy shield bar from shows mini life above you will now display separately to the life bar. I am so happy. We made so many like mock-ups for Twitter and I showed it to them. I've been bugging them for that for so many years because it's so annoying to have like 3 energy shield and it's over my fucking life bar and makes it hard to see. So like if I'm getting degen with full ES, I can't see it. Oh my god, I'm so happy they finally added this. Oh my god, dude. It's now possible to right-click on a divine vessel that has a soul. That's so nice. You can still turn them into sin if you would like. Improvise the scroll speed in the friends and guild section. Okay, we'll read the bug fixes too. Wow, what the fuck? It's like 6 times longer than normal. Because they're actually like very often big things in here. Fix the bug where Rogue would only offer weapon-based types that had unique versions. Rogue can now offer items of any natural droppable weapon. Wow. Ooh, more special base types. Fixed a bug that allowed total value of minimum power fancier endurance charge to go negative. Could act as if the player had more charges than they did. Fixed a bug where aura supported by divine blessing socketed in a weapon slot could remain active after swapping. Fixed a bug where the area of hex heals supported by blasphemy were able to go negative, resulting in the hex applying to yourself rather than enemies. uh cool. Interesting self-curse way. That's very fixed the bug introduced in 3.12 where applying temp chains in a way not from a curse heal, such as through curse on hit, was incorrectly applying temp chains that 50% less to all targets. Applying punishment in a way from a curse heal, such as through Centaur's answer, was causing cursed enemies to take increased damage while low life instead of 40. Fields created by Galvani Field would remain after unequipping the skill. Neura's Harp was able to create chill ground when you're not frozen an enemy. Icicle Burst from Kavari's Avarice stated projectiles fired in a circle around enemies you kill instead of enemies you hit. Temporal Rift resetting your life, mana, and ES to the values they had. Could be incorrectly prevented by some recovery restrictions. Oh. Temper Shield could cause to sometimes fail to deal damage until the skill was turned off and on again. Fix the bug where the modifiers to the expiry buff apply to things they shouldn't, such as Vaal's Snap. Oh, chilling area. Ruptured debuff, causing bleeding to expire 25% more quickly. It would stack incorrectly to expiry speed. Flagellant Flask was triggering by some types of reflected damage. Vicious Projectile. Whether the stat to ailments and or damage over time. Projectile related damage modifiers applied to damage with ailments inflicted by attacks. Huh. Curse effect reductions applied to monsters at the very deep delve depths was not applying correctly. Bleed duration or poison could not apply bleed or poison, which was the skill duration from puncture or viper strike. Oh, on you. Where modifiers that make ailment damage deal faster incorrectly lowered the duration of poisons twice, resulting in lowering total damage over the lifetime of a poison debuff. Also fixed this issue for bleeding. Wow. From puncture. Non-puncture bleeding and ignite were unaffected. Wow. Huge. Fixed the bug where swift afflictions less duration did not apply correctly to bleeding other than puncture. Negative values of damage conversion would grant extra damage of the initial damage type. Flat amounts of reflected damage were not being affected by PvP damage scaling. Kurgle, the black body, could have incorrect life in their final phase. New enemies that enter the range of a melee strike after the start of the damaging part, but before it reached the angle to hit them would not be damaged. Oh, nice. Fix the bug where Malachi's loop shocks you when reaching max power charges was processed before the state change, which enabled the Masteries stat prevents being shocked while at max power charges. This is particularly notable if also uses Relicish's Impatience, which prevents the loop from removing the charges. Huh. Fixed a bug where energy shield values are sometimes incorrect after area transitions. Right. Triggering lightning conduit with Battle Mage's Cry. Gluttony of Elements was not causing healing from elemental damage over time taken. Wow, that's scary. It's supposed to make you immortal, basically. Blood of the Corray Recover was not recovering ES when you had Supreme Decadence. Ichimonji were able to gain Onslaught from allies with Radiant Crusade. Skill effect duration from passive skills were not affecting the duration of the Feeding Frenzy buff. Oh, on players. Snipe skill granted by Assailant was missing the physical tag. Battle Mage's Cry was missing the trigger tag. the description for the increased map drop chance was incorrectly as more. It is now as increased. Does not change anything. Cyrus would only fire projectiles on one side of his corridor skill. Fix the bug where the infinite hunger could summon use skills while it was submerged. Oh, thank fuck. Shaper beam skills to be invisible if you had left the area and returned. Some bosses, most notably the Elder, could not be killed if the player had a stat that caused a percentage of damage dealt to be leached by the enemy as life. Chayula, Unatal, and Zoff did not have additional random modifiers they should have. Innocence beam debuff would continue to affect you well beyond the skill range if you performed an in-area transition while being hit by the beam. Meteor impact from the altar was dealing more damage than intended to minions. Boner armor, granted by the Boner armor Ascendancy through Forbidden Flame and Forbidden Flesh, could be unbanned from the skill bar to left click when entering an instance. Tailoring orbs were able to modify fixed sockets on items such as Skin Loyal. Tailoring orbs can no longer be used with fixed sockets. Alluring Vaal side areas with an area level 69 could not drop mortal fragments. Fixed a bug with Essence of Zeal, had a modifier. Oh my god, I'm gonna farm my birds so much this thing. Fixed a bug where Essence of Zeal still had a modifier listed under other jewelry. Oh. Fixed a bug where fundamental fossils had a higher cost in each shop than intended. Older versions of Spike Point was offered as the Stormblade quest. Fixed a bug where changing the settings of the unique section of the map tab also affected the Guardians. Alright. Some of the debuffs, such as Infinite Hunger and Eater Wells Drowning debuffs, were using the same debuff as common dispellable debuffs. Fixed a bug where the Barrows map boss was missing audio for their charge skill. What about the Prayer Drain? Fixed a bug or Lightning Strike. Oh wait, fixed a bug where strike skills, additional enemies could be displayed in a non-strike melee skill description. Lightning Strike, while affected by Cat Stealth, could cause blue flashes. I thought I was having a stroke. Boss dialogue and highest enemy dialogue was failing to play or being cut off early. Arcane Tome MTX did not have summon audio. Large number of spark projectiles with spark spiders could cause a T-pose. Possible to vendor 5 inscribed ultimatums for a new ultimatum in standard leagues. Huh. Primeval power source, hidden decoration could affect environmental states. Tempest Shield could be disabled when entering town with an Arctomorph pet microtransaction. Revelation Blade MTX. I don't care that much about the MTX ones. Character effect. Is this all MTX? It's all MTX. Okay. Wow. Alright. Okay. I am giga hyped for the league. I'm a little bit worried about Seismic, but it sounds like there's going to be a lot of new things. There's new exciting skills. The new roguelike mechanic looks awesome. I honestly really wish, if they can't nerf Seismic enough that it's not, it doesn't affect everyone, I guess, but a lot of us care about it. If they can't nerf Seismic enough to not, but it's not like the default best boss killing skill, I wish they would just remove it for a league. I know that's an insane take and a bad take, but yeah, I don't know, dude. I think the biggest hype is the new Atlas passives. Yeah, let's look at this too, and we'll keep that in the YouTube video. So we're not really done reading patch notes. Because this is a lot of important stuff. I actually want to go to the bathroom really quickly because I really need to pee. If you're watching on YouTube, at least you can skip this part. I just really want to pee real quick. I'll be right back and then we're going to look at all this stuff. Refresh both sides. Will do. All right. All right. Let us look through this stuff. Somebody said to refresh. Could you please provide your take on what defines a roguelike? And what's the best or worst aspect of a roguelite? So roguelite is when your first run is like very bad and you like generally cannot complete or like you aren't intended to complete the run on the first try and some things save between and you're like upgrading. And a roguelike would be where like every run is like the same potential, the same chance, like, you know, each run is its individual thing, nothing carries over. Whereas roguelites have progression. Right. Right. Okay. I want to see the things that I can hover over. Okay. A lot of rooms. The difference between a roguelite and a roguelike is definitely not pointless. They're very different types of games. All right. Recover 25% of your maximum result. I don't know how I feel about the fact that we basically have a safe death on hardcore. I mean, I guess you can still die normally too. So party play wise, have they ruined party play with this league mechanic? I have no idea. I haven't played it yet. I have no idea. It's not a safe death? Well, I mean, this going out is a safe death. Will be interesting to see how rippy it is. Lose 30 Aureus coins on room completion. Door text. Very cool though. Like I love Hades. Adapt or die. Pay the price. Although opening the test sounds annoying. 40% more Aureus. Oh, it sounds so cool. This sounds really cool. This is almost everything I wished for. Is a random major boon recovered as double. Yeah, buses should be overall easier. Gain 2 random minor boons. Lose 50% max resolve. Gain 200. Lose 200. Remove tight choker. Right? Gain a random minor affliction. Divina's gift. I hope we can hold alt to see what all these things do. Inspiration was like energy shield, it seemed like, for your resolve. Reap or weep. Also, I was surprised that people thought this was a low amount. Like this being one of the 32 rooms, that seems like it can be pretty damn rewarding. I think it's gonna be very hard for most people to do the 32 rooms with this reward. Like that's a lot for one room. Like obviously like it's supposed to be. I would assume you gain XP. Failed mirror runs are gonna be so funny. Yeah. I thought you would get that option once per 32 rooms, and then it would be kind of meh. Yeah. But that sounds like it could be really cool. I'm surprised they gave us so much power creep in these. Well, not these, but the one that makes last everywhere. It was like kind of different. Um, and new bosses to fight. That's cool. Relic altar straight out of Last Epoch. You mean Diablo 2, right? I mean, Last Epoch copied Diablo 2. Glowing relics are the ones that work everywhere. Oh, you're right. Thank you. Critical strike multiplier for attack damage. Strike skills target one additional nearby enemy. Woof. 20% AoE, 15% effective non-cursed auras. Woof. These are going to be some insane power creep. Defeat the Sanctum Guardians. Explore the Atlas endgame, Fracturing Orb, and the memories. Wait, did it have Leaf Shade? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I wonder, can it have... I didn't see it. Wow, that's insane. Can I have any keystone? Can I just get a keystone for free? I wonder how many keystones are on it. Wow, that could... Oh my god, that could be insane. That could be so crazy. Wait, we Vaal them for keystones? Yo. I wonder if there's a brick or really bad outcome. Powerful gems. Vaal Flicker Strike. Vaal Cleave. And new skills. Honestly, I barely ever expect new skills anymore until PoE 2. I'm always surprised. Every new unique items. I love the new Starforge and Void Forges, dude. Say goodbye to Arch Nemesis. It will be missed. Spray him with a new balance. Witchbane. When you kill an enemy, become immune to curses. Huh. Reduced ignite duration. Be ruthless. Not at least, start at least. Kirax. Show your support. You know, I think I will. I think I will. We'll end the patch notes video there for YouTube. I would say I am very excited. I hope you guys are. Not yet? Not yet what? Oh, don't show support until I like the league. Right. I guess. I have a hard time doing that. But yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. Anyway. Yeah, we'll end the video there. I'm very excited. I'm a little bit worried about Seismic. I am a little bit worried about Seismic. I think that's the only thing I'm worried about though. That's pretty good, right? I can't think of anything else that I'm very excited about. I mean, not excited about. Although, it would have been nice. It would have been nice if there were some more balance changes. I guess that's the only thing missing a little bit. I definitely wanted some balance and ascendancy changes. But we got so much other stuff. We got so much other stuff. And changes to new skills. Overall, very excited. Not sure what build I'm going to play. But either way, we'll end the raw unedited video there on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Sub if you liked the video. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And try to die less than I do.